Hello team, welcome to the AMB IT services training session. So today we are going to talk about the second part of FSCM, and that is the FSCM credit management configuration. So in the part one, I have discussed about the business partner, how we are going to extend the business partner for the role UKM 000, and then we have seen how we are going to maintain the credit limit for the business partner. We also gone through like how we are going to see the exposure of the customer when the order has been created, delivery has been processed, or billing has been processed. Now today we are going to talk about the configuration behind this. So the major configurations here I'm going to touch base, okay, about the FSCM configurations. Obviously, we have in-depth configurations as well that will have to do the sessions later on when we have the big session. But today I'm just going to talk about the very high level configurations about the credit management of FSCM. So if you look at here, and I have jotted down all the important configuration under the FSCM. So if you look at here, all this part from step number 1 to 18, that is the major configurations wherein we can define the credit control area. They will have to assign the credit company code to the credit control area. Then we'll have to define the segment. And why segment? Because the business partner, while I'm going to maintain the business partner for the credit management, I will have to select the org element as a credit segment, not the credit control area. That is a difference between the traditional credit management and FSCM. So here I'm not going to activate the credit management or the credit limit functionalities for the credit control area. This has to be maintained under the segment. So here we'll have to define the segment. Then we'll have to define the rating procedure. So ACP has already delivered a lot of standard rating procedure formulas, the segments or the other attributes. Okay, so I can utilize the standard, or in case if the uh, template is not feasible for the business, in that situation we'll have to create the new rating procedure, new formulas. Okay, and then this rating procedure and formula will have to assign to the rules. So basically the rating procedure and formula assigned to the rules, and this rules is basically we are assigning to the uh, customer master data, okay, for the credit management. So when we are going to activate the credit functionalities of the business partner, we'll have to assign the rules. We are not directly assigning the formulas or the rating procedure. Rating procedure also we can assign, but the rules is deriving the formulas in the rating procedure. Then we have to assign the checking rules, and this checking rules is like the static or dynamic. Already we know about the checking rules functionalities. So we are having the static check, dynamic check that I talked about earlier. And then we have the mix check as well. So I will talk about this one as well. Then this blocking region is not mandatory, but in case the customer is a defaulter or you want to block the whole customer so that order cannot be processed anymore, in that situation, we have to assign the blocking region and activate the blocking functionalities for the business partner. This field group of the parameter is only important. This is also optional in case if the field is not available under the checking rules, and then business want to introduce something new field or the customized field, then here we'll have to add the new field group. Then step number 10, here we'll have to activate the credit management functionalities, the FSCM credit management functionality. If business doesn't want to use, you can deactivate it as well. Then here, as I said, credit control area is basically not used to extend the credit limit for the customers. We'll have to use the credit segment, but here we have the credit control area and the credit segment assignment. This is important because in the customer master data sales view, we have to assign the credit control area. Then define credit group is important. That is similar to our traditional credit management, where we have to define the credit group for the sales order, delivery, and PGI. And this is similar to my ST. And then here, all the credit group needs to assign to the sales document, delivery documents, okay, in here. So this is also mandatory in case if you want to activate the credit check at the document level, we'll have to assign to the sales document type. If you want to activate the credit segment to the delivery, then we'll have to assign the delivery document type. Then you have to define the risk category, and this risk category needs to assign here we'll have to define the risk category and assign to the credit control area. This is also important. Unless this is not assigned, we are not able to define the automatic credit control. So this automatic credit control is also very much important. Here we'll have to activate the credit control area for the risk category. Okay, and then we'll have to activate the SAP credit management functionality, and we'll make sure while the limit has been exceeded, what could be the reactions of the documents. Then we'll have to activate the item category, like which item category you want to activate it. Then there is some enhancement part we'll have to take care in that situation. If you want to, some of the enhancement is mandatory, we'll have to activate those bodies. But in case some additional enhancement is required, so SAP has released the lots of bodies, we can activate it. This part is only important in case if you want to integrate your S/4HANA environment to the external system. So we'll have to make sure the XML needs to be activated under the S/4HANA environment. So these are some important setups we'll have to take care. If you look at the system here, guys, so in the SPRO here, so the first part I told you, like we'll have to check the enterprise structures. Here we'll have to make sure define the segment, credit control area. So here we can see the credit control area is 1000. This is, I'm just sharing the standard one. Okay, so this is important here. Then go back, and then here if you see the assignment part, so here you can see 1010 or 1710 assigned to the same credit control area, and this is a this can be overwritten for the credit control area. Okay, so this is the one setup. Then once it is done, they'll go to the FSCM, Financial Supply Chain Management, and under this we'll have to go to the credit management. And then under this here we'll have to check the two-part credit risk monitoring. Under master data here, as I talk about, we'll have to create a rule, and this rule is basically holding the rating procedures and then formulas. So if you look at the rule here, and under this rule, if I can see the rule, this one, let's see this one, SAP underscore all. And then if you can see here, so here, this formula has been assigned SAP underscore score all. This is valid for the entire year. And then here we can see the rating procedure. So these are the rating procedure has been assigned, and this is also valid for the 365 days. So these are the SAP standard, but in case if you want to define something new, rating procedures or the new formulas here, in that situation, we'll have to go back, and then here we'll have to define the new procedures. Okay, so and then in this procedure, we are going to have the results like we can give the ratings from 1 to 6 or 1 to 10 or 1 to 3. So we have to go from the very good to the very bad. Okay, so this is the rating procedure, and then this is the formulas here. So in this formulas here, we'll have some editors. So we'll go to the editor here to check like what is the formula is there. In that situation, if you want to build something new logic or something different kind of calculation, then we'll have to connect to the developer. They will take care of this part. So this is the formulas. So this rules is assigned here. So if you look at the this one, so here in the BP, I just told you earlier also, this is the rules. This rules is assigned here. So this rules is basically holding, as I said, the rating procedure in the formulas. Then the credit segment. The credit segment is also very much important because in the business partner here, you can see this has been maintained under the segment. If you go to the credit segment data here, and this is activated at the 00 level and 1000 level. Okay. And then in the credit segment here, if you can see, there's a This is the very, very important. This is called our main segments. So this segment is SAP default one, and this is here activated as a main segment in the currency USD. And then all the case type has been assigned. This case type is basically used in case if you want to go for the DCDS functionalities, where we are going to release the uh, ex documents, okay, by the document decisions. So for that, you will have to need this one. But before that, here, guys, we'll have to understand the credit segment. This is the credit segment, and then this is my segment, and then 0000 is the main segment. Okay. So here we can see while we are going to extend the business partner, we'll have to make sure, are we going to extend the business for the main segment only, or the segment only, or the main segment plus segment, both the levels. So here system is going to check, if you're going to have the third one, is going to check the overall limit at the main segment level and the segment level as well. So system is going to execute the your simulation at the main segment level plus segment level. Okay, but it's depend on the, again, the business to business, are we going to keep the credit management functionality on the segment level, or at the main segment level, or at the main segment plus segment level. And then here we'll have to add the contribution to the main segment. So whatever the exposure is done at the segment level, this is going to be added into the main segment level. So this is totally depend on the configuration. We'll have to make the changes. Then we'll talk about this one, we'll talk about this one, we'll talk about this one. And this is, I talk about, this is optional in case if you want to integrate. So we'll make sure this needs to be activated. And then here we'll have to make sure your URL needs to be there to attach it here. Okay, so that external agency will be linked to the S4 environment. Then on the master data is done here, then we'll have to check the credit limit here. And this is very, very important because here we have the checking rule. Under this checking rule, here we have the total check, static check, and dynamic check, you can see. And if you look at this checking rules, even again, if you go to the customer master data here, then you can see the checking rule is assigned. If you go to the general data, and in the general data here, you can see the checking rules is assigned as a 03. So here we can assign the checking rule, and what the checking rule is carried out. The checking rule is carried out here, the details. So if you go to the 01 here, it will check all the steps, like it's going to check the exposure, it's going to check the maximum document value, it's going to check the maximum dunning level, like the reminder, oldest open item, payment behavior, overdue open items. So we can also add the many steps here, that is totally depend on the business to business at what level that is going to be activated. So you can activate the credit management as a static or dynamic, but on top of that, we can also like activate the additional steps, like you can check the maximum document label, or we are going to check the dunning label as well, or we are going to check the oldest open items. So considering all this requirement depend on the business needs, we'll have to activate this one. So 01 is holding all kind of checks. Even if you look at the maximum check document value here, also we can add the segment, and we can make sure we are going to have, even the limit is having the like 1 lakh for the one customer, but I cannot like allow more than 25,000 for this credit segment for one customer in one document. So we can also control at the maximum document level. So this checking rules is also very, very important. Okay, and then it has to assign your business partner. Then if you, this is also optional blocking regions. So if you want to block the business partner, for example, here you can see the blocking region at the segment data label. So if you go down here, you can just put the block and then assign the blocking region. So if it is block and then blocking region is assigned, then order cannot be created. So here we have the options to assign it. Then these are the some additional fields if you want to create. So here, if you currently these fields are available as a template, but in case if you want to add some new fields, business is looking for some payment terms or something different field, the customized field will have to add it here. Then once the master data is done here, then we'll have to, and then also the enhancement part, guys. So these are the various bodies are given. So in case business is looking for some additional functionalities, like they wanted to go for the follow-on processes, or they want to go for some event-based stuff, or they wanted to check the receipt of liabilities. So based on that, we'll have to activate these bodies. So lots of bodies has been given. Only we'll have to just look at the business requirement, and then act upon. If something is not available, you have to build as a fresh, but first we'll have to check what is available. Then once it is done here, we'll have to check the integration with the account receivables, and then what the integration we are having with the ST. So go with here, and then here you can see the activation of the credit management. So here is already activated. If you want to deactivate, here we'll have to select and deactivate it. And then here we are going to have the assign the credit control area to the segment. So here we can see this 1000 is assigned to the 1000. And then next here we'll have to make sure all the item category which is needed, that needs to be activated. So if you can see that, like for example, 10 is now active for the credit. If it is not active, and then if if items we are going to use in the sales order, and if this item category will determined automatically, then your credit is not going to be work. So this functionality is important and needs to be activated. Then define credit. This is an old functionality like the SD. Here we have the 01 for the sales order, 02 for delivery, 03 for the PGI, and then this has to be assigned to the your sales document type here. And then we'll have to activate. For example, if you go to the OR here, this D is now activated as automatic. Another important part here, guys, either we can activate the credit management functionality, or we can deactivate it. ABC is not supported in S/4HANA. The simple check is not supported anymore. Okay, so just keep it. Even if I'm going to assign it, it throw the error message because simple check is not supported anymore. And then here we'll have to assign the 01 that is active for the sales order. So this is if we are needed to activate at the document type label for the sales order, and then this is for the delivery. So that is depend like at what level business want to activate the credit management functionalities. Then here we have the defined risk categories, and then we can see these are the risk category has been already added here, A, B, C, that is low risk, medium risk, high risk. Okay, these are the risk. And then if you look at here is A, B, C, that is the low, no default, medium, high risk has been assigned. And then on the defined credit control area, here we can see all the risk category has been linked to the credit control area. You can see like this. And if you look at any of the setup here, so this is entirely different from your traditional credit management. So in the traditional credit management, we are having some static check, dynamic check, document value, oldest open item. Now this has been absolute and this has been merged with the rules, okay? The checking rules, and those checking rules here, we can see it has been assigned under the journal data here, okay? So the entire setup is merged under the checking rules. And then here is not available. Here only part is available, like you can activate the credit management. What could be the reactions when the limit has been exceeded? So A means warning, B means error message. With warning, we can save the sales order. B, we cannot save the sales order. C means that system will throw the exceeded limit plus block the sales order. And D means that system can show the exceeded limit plus not allow to create the sales order. So here we'll have to activate the reactions, and then once the reaction has been pop up, then what will be the status that based on this, we'll have to block the sales order. This functionality is similar to my ECC. There is no change here. Like if after the release, if business want to put some kind of deviation within the numbers of days, we can put the deviation and numbers of days. So during that period, if percentage deviation is matching, then system will not again blocking the sales order. So these functionalities are remain same, guys, here. And the last one here is basically the enhancement part. So one of the important body needs to be activities to the connection of SD to the SAP Credit Management. This is important. And then if you look at this body name is body underscore SD underscore CM. And then if you look at this body, so here body underscore CD underscore CM. Let me check here. This is SD underscore CM. This is SD integration. So here you can find it. If you see here, so if you go to the body here, you can find all the interfaces. So this needs to be activated, guys. Okay, so this is very, very important. Like we are going to activate this interface for the billing document, order, delivery, FSCM credit management. Okay, so this has to be activated. This is very, very important bodies. Okay. Then some additional bodies are there. For example, if you want to go for the partners numbers is different. Okay. Uh, then we'll have to activate these bodies. Okay, if you are sending some DCDS information, we'll have to activate these bodies. So these are the some important informations, and that is totally depend on the business to business. And the last config that here is the pricing procedure. Okay, so this is remains same. There is no change here. So if you go and then check the pricing procedure here, for example, so this pricing procedure here will have the subtotal, and this is remain same. So here subtotal A has been assigned. If you can see the profit margin total here, this total has been assigned here the subtotal to my total value. Okay, so here we can decide like which value is going to be considered for the credit management. So this is the QMP and CM PRE, that is, and the infrastructure communication structures, and then this is a field. So this is similar to my ST. There is no change here. So based on this, system is going to accumulate in for the exposures. So these are the some important configurations for the FSCM, guys. If you have any question, just post on the YouTube. Thank you.